Hello everybody, Average Gamer here, and welcome to the second video in the Galactic Ruler tutorial series, brought to you by BattleGoat Studios, with me, Average Gamer. So, today we're going to be going over the menus and just setting up a new game in general, talking about what's on the main menu and all the different stuff. So obviously we have our 5 main screens here: tutorial, new game, load game, online, and workshop. Online is just that. You can set up an online game. You can hit host if there's nothing going on. Pick your country, or in this case, your species. Change your settings, which we'll go into for the single player stuff. And then hit generate. It'll generate the world. Other people can start setting things up. And then you hit start. Once everyone hits starts, boom, you're into a game. Workshop, it's just that. Click it. Shows you any workshop stuff you've got set up for your game, because the game has workshop support. We also have our links to the BattleGoat website, the Gamepedia site, the PDF manual for those of you who want to do homework. There may or may not be a quiz after all this. The BattleGoat forums, Discord, which you should be a member of, YouTube, Twitter, and the Book of Face. So, what we're going to also go into is the bottom ones here. So you have the credits in the middle, the quit button on the right, and then on the left we have our options button, which we're going to go into first, which is just your generic game options, your personal options. Some of this stuff is gameplay specific. So for example, the general settings here, whether you want phased out units to still be available in your build queue menu, units that you've favorited, which we'll go into in another video. Path for inspecting units, which where they're going. The more important thing of your cursor type, which cursor you want of the 3. I prefer this one because it looks like a Federation comm badge, and I'm a real big fan of Badgie. Whether you want the game to play the intro cutscene, yay or nay, and then some map information, whether you want it to auto pitch as you zoom in, it'll kind of do one of these. Scroll wheel direction, beam weapons using your faction color, line of sight grid stuff, messages, whether you want to see them, how often you want to see the threshold for them, where your files are. This is an important one. If you ever need to save, or sorry, share a save file, you hit this little button here, boom. On my other monitor is the window. There's all my save files. Save file quit, first playthrough, blah, 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 blah. If you want to save them to your computer or to Steam Cloud, obviously autosave is a big thing, always. Current language, graphical settings, and then sound. One of the big things is this option here, shareable music. If it's turned on, it will revert to the Supreme Ruler Ultimate soundtrack, because it is not will not be copyright claimed. If this is off and you're streaming on Twitch or YouTube and putting up Let's Plays and things like that, if this is turned off, and it will play the Galactic Ruler soundtrack, and you will end up like me and getting the videos claimed all the time. There we are. If it's back to the main settings. Now, we're going to talk about the tutorial. So there are 4 tutorials in the game, and they are something that everyone should get into and play them all at least once. Go through all 4 sections of the tutorial just so you can learn the game and understand it. We have the basics of gameplay. We have the system controls, the planetary control system, and then obviously the big one, combat. We're not doing any of those today, but I would advise you, even after watching tutorials that I'll be putting up, still go into the tutorial and do all 4 of these things. It will help immensely. What we're going to do though is go into new game. So initially you get these 6 options. You've got small galaxy, which is a small galaxy. It's 35 systems, 6 factions, and 3 minor factions. The next one is almost double at 50 systems, 9 major and 4 minor races. And then large is 75 with 12 major and 5 minors. And you can pick small, medium, or large as just a default if you want to. We're going to hit medium just for now. Then you pick what they're going to be doing, the AI, whether you want a military stance where they're aggressive. When it comes to approval effects of your own people, how that affects you, the resources themselves, how they are. In this case, they're dwindling, so they're low. Volatility is medium, meaning there's medium chance of basically everything just exploding around you and everyone going at each other's throats. And random events, being in this case high. And then for economic, it's more of an economic playthrough, so your settings are a little bit more passive. In this case, the AI is defense, just kind of default. Medium approval ratings. Resources are just, your standard kind of equal across the world, across the galaxy. Volatility, there's no real volatility in the game. And then random events, there's medium ones. And last but not least, defensive. This is kind of like your passive run, where the AI is just going to do its own thing. It'll stay out of your way. There's tons of resources to exploit. There's nothing random going on. Yeah, this is if you want to play the game initially, what I would say is, if you don't want to change any other settings, go small and defensive after you've done the tutorials. We're going to hit the factions here, and here we have the 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 races. We've got the Earthers. We've got this, actually, we'll go through. All of them do have a 6 kind of characteristics, what they breathe, what their characteristics are. And a little blurb down here. We've got the Earthers, we have the Disciples, then we have the Swarm, the Plotters, the Omniphage, the Epitaph, probably pronouncing that wrong, the Osmian Hive, the Stilaptar, the Gultholian Republic, the Laxan, the Breel, the Raptrin, the Onaning, and the Space Hamsters, and then the Dicaps, and last but not least, the, I don't know if you even know how to pronounce this, Rydanditis. Those guys. Anyway, so you have all those species you can pick from, multiple different characteristics that affect your gameplay, which is pretty cool. And then over here on the left, you have additional changes and settings that you can do. So we have the galaxy type. Do we want a cluster? Do we want a band, or do we want a spiral? Let's go with a spiral, why not? Before we picked the small one, well, here we can go into it again. So small, medium, and large are the usuals, but we can also go to very large, which is up to 100, or we can go to very small, which is 25. We'll pick that one for now. Then we pick how many races. Do we want all of them? Or we want just, us and one other species? Well, let's go all of them, why not? Habitability, how obviously habitable are the planets? Do we want to go rare habitability, average, very common, very rare? Totally up to you. You want to go closer to very common the sooner you are playing, and very rare if you want to get a little a little hard for yourself. Lane masses, how basically big do you want the play areas on the map to be? Small, medium, large, very small. Resources, obviously, do you want them abundant, standard, dwelling, depleted? Basically just 4 stages of good, bad, and oof. Victory type, complete, which is you control everybody and everything. Capital, I believe that's you control all the different capitals. And then capture, I believe, is if you capture everyone's home planet. Volatility, how volatile do you want everything to be? Do you want it to be highly volatile, meaning everyone goes after everybody else's throat constantly like spider monkeys? Or do you want it none, where, pretty much everyone's laid back, relaxed, and kind of like hippies at Woodstock? Game difficulty, very hard, normal, easy, and very easy. Closer you want to go to very easy, the sooner earlier you are playing, and obviously ramp that hard mode up as you play. Technology is advanced, normal, or none. That just sets up your starting tech level. I would say start at normal for your first playthrough, and then obviously go to none when you want a skill, or a hard, not a skill, basically challenge. Sorry. For force size, how big do you want your military starting force? Which is pretty cool. Allied victories or not. And then we have the advanced settings as well. And before I actually get into these, I want to mention the ship down here. This is what the Corvette style of the ship looks like. Now, these two are Earth species, or human species, so that's no big deal. They'll look the same. But yeah, look how different some of these are. It's actually very interesting. And some people would have noticed that before as I was clicking them, and you have all the different stuff there. It's nice. But we're going to go to the advanced settings a little bit more here. So here we can change things even more if we wanted to. First, we can specifically change the military difficulty. So basically how hard fighting wars are, how hard specifically the economy is, easy to hard or very easy to hard. And the same with diplomacy. Do we want that very easy to hard? So you can actually tailor if you find, the AI is just a little too easy when it comes to diplomacy or too easy when it comes to warfare. You can tweak that, and you can tweak it while you're playing, if I'm not mistaken. You can pick the AI stance a little bit more here, your approval effects, basically if you can get voted out or not, and random events. Additional little options over here, merchant trade, trade using AI transports, you want that on. Units eliminated when a region falls. So if you take a planet and it's the only planet of that species, instead of getting all their gear and all their basic military equipment that you didn't destroy in an invasion, it all just despawns and goes away. And some additional options here. Pirates do not scrap units. I think it's if they capture them. And then fixed capitals, you might want that on when you initially start. Map seed, here's the thing about the map seed. Map seed is only if, for example, if you want to play on a map that I'm playing on, but we have to play as the same species, all the game settings have to be exactly 100% the same. If any one little thing is different, everything's going to be different. The entire galaxy will generate differently, and we won't play the same. Just a heads up there. Galaxy size, you can actually tweak it even further. We can go down all the way to 2 systems, or we can crank it all the way up and go to 200. You can change the range of faster than light travel, basically how far, what basically your limits are as to how far you can jump. And complete victory excludes pirate, and you can turn this off or on if you want for some exclusions in regards to the races. And there we go. Then you hit launch, the game starts, and we're playing as the Repturian apparently. Well, not really, but anyways, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. That's pretty much how you set up a new game. In the next video, we'll be talking about the initial starting stages in a game, all the different options in like what's in the UI, and maybe some information that you might need to know. With that in mind, thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching this. I appreciate you spending time. Could have watched anything else, but you watched this. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you haven't already, leave a review on Steam for this game, because it's awesome and it needs them. See you next time. Bye-bye.